Hello, folks, and welcome back to Horror Town. And today I have another horror movie review for you for the winter time. And this time I've decided that I'll be doing it on an awesome horror film that, for some reason, doesn't get acknowledged a lot. But I intend on changing that through this review. So this movie review will be on the movie called Frozen. Not the Disney film, in case you've been wondering, but the actual horror film Frozen from 2010. Now, this horror film was written and directed by Adam Green, and it stars Shawn Ashmore, Kevin Zegers, and Emma Bell. So, this was such an awesome horror film. This was absolutely an awesome wild ride. And this is actually, I'm reading here, a psychological horror survival film, according to Wikipedia, as it says here. So I've just quoted what they said, right? So this was definitely a great horror film, and I absolutely enjoyed the heck out of it. It was an awesome horror film. This was so good. So what is it about? Before I get more ahead of myself than I already have. So this is about a group of friends. So three friends, as you probably have guessed from the actors' names, the fact that there are three. So we have basically Dan Walker, his girlfriend Parker O'Neill, and their best friend, as it says here, Joe. Actually, his best friend, Dan Walker's best friend, Joe Lynch, who are gonna go to a ski resort, right? In order to basically enjoy some fun, going down the slopes kind of thing, right? I don't really know how to say. But basically they're gonna go there, they're gonna enjoy themselves on the bunny hills, I believe, right? They're gonna do a lot of fun stuff there, skiing and so on and so forth, with also those boarding stuff. I don't know how you call them, but basically, yeah, they're gonna be, really enjoying themselves. Now, they're Parker, who is a girl, by the way, which I don't believe is common for somebody, but for I know that the name Parker can refer to a boy, but I didn't know that it was a girl's name too. Well, it's if it is, then fine with me. That's just I'm only saying that I didn't know about that before, but basically, yeah, they're gonna be enjoying themselves, and then as the resort is about to close for about a week because of the weather that is pretty pretty cold and everything, and there's gonna be some kind of a closure kind of thing, where they're gonna shut down the resort for a week. Yeah, right. This is what it says here. I apologize if it's a little clumsy for me. I'm just trying to recall everything. But basically, then the characters are gonna decide to try and have one last going down the slope for one last time, one last thrill in at nighttime. So they're gonna decide to kind of buy their way into getting around to doing this. They're gonna ask the chairlift operator to let them have some fun, for and kind of pleading with him, kind of asking him, to let him do that. So he's gonna accept. He's gonna let them do so, but the thing is, some kind of a mix-up occurs, and well, needless to say that it's not looking very well for them, as the chairlift is gonna end up being stuck in mid in pretty high up the ground, like really really high, and they're just gonna be stuck there. At first, they're gonna think that it's just some kind of a technical malfunction, like one previously occurred before, but it's gonna become clear that they're stuck there, and without anybody knowing where they are, and the fact that the resort is temporarily closed, they're not getting any kind of assistance anytime soon. So they're basically stuck and stranded there on that chairlift. And it could be days, it could be week before anybody knows about them. And if they don't do anything very soon, they will freeze to death. So this is basically the premise of the story. Wow, wow, wow. This was such a genius, you know, a genius thing. Really, I really love this film, and I don't know why. It's like it's not some a movie that is very often spoken about, so you really have to look for it. But I kind of stumbled into it. I stumbled onto it, about a few years ago, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But as I watched this film, I loved it. I loved it to maybe to death would be a, a bad choice of words considering the title, but I loved this film for what it was. Not to death. I just loved this film, right? Because it was so good, especially the whole tension, the build up, and the fact that it is a survival film, and you really don't know who's gonna make it, right? And whether they're gonna make it or not, right? Because it's looking so bleak for them, so terrifying that it might very well be that they will all they will all die from the cold weather and everything. And of course, I'm not telling you, maybe they will all survive too. That's a possibility, right? But it might be that something might happen to the characters, so you don't really know. That's why this movie really keeps you at the edge of your seats, right, the whole time. But it was such a great horror film. I really enjoyed the heck out of it. It is a thriller film, but I consider it to be my horror choice of movies for the winter time. Definitely, if you haven't watched it, please, 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 pretty please, watch it for this winter time. You're gonna enjoy it. You're really gonna love this film. It is the perfect choice for the winter time, especially with the whole skiing thing. It kind of makes you, I don't know if you like skiing or not, but it has that, great scenery, right? The way it is presented, right, with the slopes, the mountains. It's a beautiful scenery. It's so beautiful, but yet it's terrifying at the same time, with the snowstorm and everything, and the fact that all of our friends are stuck there on that chairlift. It is so scary. Definitely, it would give me nightmares, right? That would be such an intense experience, but really, you really feel with the characters because they're all playing their roles perfectly and they're really convincing. So I feel like I would be with them. Really, it's like you're part of you're with the characters. Really, you can feel everything, right? You would ask yourself, what would you do if you were in this situation? And it really makes you reassess your life choices and reevaluate, your life, right? And to think when you're exposed to death, right? When you're confronted by it, right? I, as a religious person, the first thing I would do is I would pray, right? Pray to God. So, yeah, it really makes you ask yourself, what would you do if you were in this situation, if you were in these characters' shoes? And it's really a possibility. It can happen, right? So it's not one of these horror films with something that is completely, you know, like a fantasy thing, right? Like the sci-fi and things like that. No, this is real, right? That could be happening to anybody. So it's really terrifying and it really makes me scared. It really scared me. It is a scary film, right? But it is excellent and I really enjoyed the characters' performances, the actors' performance, sorry, as the characters. So we have Shawn Ashmore. I didn't talk to you a lot about the actors, so let's do so. So Shawn Ashmore is a really great actor. He was in Smallville for a while, the TV show. He played one of the twins characters in the show. The twin actors, he has a brother who played another, character in Smallville. I thought he was pretty great. Then we have Kevin Zegers, who plays Dan Walker, who I didn't really, know before, but he's a great actor as well. Then we have Emma Bell, who plays Parker O'Neill. So Emma Bell was she was in The Walking Dead for the first season, right? She was in Supernatural, in one episode of Supernatural. She's a pretty great actress, and I believe this was one of her first, roles in acting, right? As it says here in her film debut. in Wikipedia. It introduces her to it, right? It introduced her to this to acting, and she's awesome, right? She's really great in this role. She's really convincing. Really, it's like she did an awesome job. And obviously, yeah, this was a great horror film, and the tensions are running so high as you have the two characters, and you know, what was his name? Yeah, Joe Lynch, who's not very close to Parker, who is just she just happens to be his best friend's his best friend's girlfriend, right in the movie. He just doesn't he doesn't like her a lot, it seems, but here they can really it's an opportunity for them to really bind and connect, right, and to bond, sorry, to bond together. And this was a great horror film, a great experience, and you really don't know who's gonna make it, if they're gonna make it or not. It's a terrifying thing, really. There's a lot of graphic, scenery. There's some graphic scenery. There's some graphic scenery in it, in this film. So some very bloody thing, and I don't recommend it for anybody who's faint of heart, who doesn't like the sight of blood, because it gets really gory at some point. Especially there's a scene involving wolves where you just have to it's just a terrifying sight, and you really I myself have watched a lot of scary movies, but this scene really gets to me. It's terrifying, man. So now I see that this movie was filmed at Snow Basin in near Ogden, Utah, according to Wikipedia, in February '09, right? And if you live near this place, this ski resort, right? Maybe you happen to live near. Well, you could go and check it out, right? And it's so beautiful in the film, and the way it appears makes it so scary and terrifying, and so great. It's a beautiful scenery, right? Like a postcard kind of thing. But yeah, this was a pretty awesome horror film, man. I really don't know what much I can tell you about it. The chairlift, is pretty scary. And yeah, the fact that they're stranded there in the middle of the night doesn't make it any easier for them. But also at the beginning, I didn't tell you, but they kind of, gamble. They bribe their way into getting into the chairlift, because I believe that they can't really, do it, because I don't think they have enough money or something like that. I kind of forgot. I apologize for that. This is one of those little details that just slip your mind. But basically, at some point, they just use this Parker. She's gonna be, I guess the term is, using her charm to negotiate something. I thought that was low. I mean, come on, man. This is just bad. She's a person, and the fact that she's used like that is just the character of Parker being used in this way. It's just cringy. It's lame. It's low, right? I mean, give her respect that she deserves, right? As a human being, don't just so what? She's a woman, therefore, people, her friends are a little rude to they're just that was just a douchebag move, especially from I believe it was Joe who suggests something that was just you just feel like you just wanna tell him off if you happen to be there. But yeah, at some point he's also gonna make a friend, I believe, Joe. But it's kind of those things that are gonna be it's he's gonna meet somebody, and it's gonna stay with him, and he's gonna discuss it a little bit as he's stranded there on that chair with his two friends, and he's gonna ask himself, if he happens, yeah, they kind of discuss what would they do if they happen to, get out of there alive, and are they really gonna die? They're really confronted with this idea. And in my religion, also, death is something that we should always be, mindful of, and know that death can get you any time, right? This is the reality. This is the inevitable reality that we have to be mindful of, right? And to live our lives properly in a good way, right? So I thought this movie was awesome. I really enjoyed it, especially since it is a lot like the Final Destination film, where you have, this whole, pleasant thing, which seems to be a pleasant, a nice vacation that turns into some kind of a nightmare. That was pretty great in my opinion, and it really makes you think that you really have to be careful of, doing certain things and not get yourself into trouble and to stay safe, right? So Frozen, if I were to rate this movie on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. This is definitely an excellent horror film. 9.5 out of 10 for me. This was, I even want to give it 10 out of 10, but I'm thinking to myself, 9.5 out of 10 ought to do it. I don't know about you. Yeah, possibly, yeah. I could have given it a higher rating, but maybe if the movie was a little bit longer and it could have been made into a 2 hour and a half, a 2 hour movie easily, in my opinion. It would have been more intense and you get more into, you get more development. It would have been even better. But for what it is 9.5 out of 10. It is an excellent horror film. It was really, really great, and I really enjoyed the heck out of it. What about you folks? I would give it 9.5 out of 10. Those are my final words, my final answer. So what about you folks? What did you think about the movie Frozen? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't watched it, consider watching it, please, for the winter time, and let me know as soon as you do what you thought about it. Thank you for watching, and also let me know if you did like it or didn't like it. Please let me know. In the meantime, folks, thank you for watching. See you, and take care, and God willing, we will see you on the next review for another horror movie. In the meantime, folks, stay safe. Goodbye. Take care. Peace out. This is Horror Town for You signing off.